So what happens now? Brady's coming into the house off of a 5-touchdown performance at age 43. I mean, that's happening tomorrow night, Kyle.
I know. On the shortest week, and all these apologists are saying for nagging Foles, well, he's not on the same page with his receivers and got a work to do. Well, too bad. Then you got a short week now. We stumbled into something this morning, Rich. I would love to hear your thoughts on. We raised the question about, with all Brady's accomplishments and all he's done, not only in just football but in life, do you think he has something extra special for Nick Foles, because Nick Foles represents such a bitter defeat for him? And I was asked the question, I think Schrager and Burleson were like, no, Brady's got nothing to prove. Foles, whatever it is, not on the same level. I said, hold on a second. I always think of Tom Brady's life in a full 90-year span. And 20 years from now, when he's an incredible golf course and he's teeing off and he's got a great life and a great family and a great swing, there's a couple things in his life that are going to piss him off. One is Eli Manning. Eli Manning tortured him 2 nights, and one is that damn night against Nick Foles in Super Bowl 52, in which Brady didn't even just lose, kind of embarrassingly dropped a pass, and then made a huge fumble with the game on the line. And it's the only Super Bowl where I can think of Brady, in more ways than one, dropping the ball. Those Giants games, they had his number. In that Eagles one, he had it, and he coughed it up. And I think there's something extra special with he and what Nick Foles represents in that game.
Well, I mean, I think you'll get the answer to your question if prior to this game we do hear from Tom Brady, and he just wants to talk about getting in rhythm with X, Y, and Z. That will tell you the answer, because nothing has been more underwhelming from a member of the media who says, or an opinionator who says, Tom Brady has nothing left to prove. You've got to be kidding me. Like, this guy will literally find anything to use to get him ready to prove something that nobody else thinks needs to be proved. I mean, he's the king of nobody believes in us when the entire country believes in him. I mean, it's absolutely why he is who he is. It's absolutely why he throws for almost 400 yards and 5 touchdowns as a 43-year-old. I think he definitely has something in store for Nick Foles and this team.
I do too.
And I think he wants to stomp their guts out. That's what I think. I really believe it.
And now, especially, everything's rosy now for Brady. That, lest you forget, Rich, I was on the phone with you 3 weeks ago on this very appearance, saying, Rich, I'm terrified. I picked the Bucs to go to the Super Bowl. They look so bad against the Saints. And you said, calm down, brother. Calm down.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1 week. It's 1 week. And you were right. And I would only say this then. That Saints game for Brady could have been that Colts game for Nick Foles. It was his first game out there. He looked flat. He looked awkward. He threw a bad interception, exactly like Brady did. So I still think there's the potential for fireworks Thursday night, and I think there is going to be a second layer of things going on, especially with Nagy getting already called out on Chicago radio that he's an offensive fraud. I mean, it's starting fast. They're 3-1, and they're already coming for him.
Well, I tell you, and then we'll just move on to a couple more things left with Kyle Brandt here on the Rich Eisen Show. We just hung up from my Arians whisperer in Carson Palmer, and he said that the injuries to Godwin and now O.J. Howard and Evans being, if you will, banged up, like walking around, like running routes like he's Fred G. Sanford, this is all going to play to the benefit of Brady in this offense when it is full strength later on, that the reps need to be gotten with guys that he might not be making plays with later on, but will be complementary players in the roles currently that they serve as crucial players, that this is only going to serve to make them stronger. And that Brady, and that's the interpretation of Arians saying they would have gotten their ass beat by 20 points last year as opposed to winning the game that they just played. I think that's the interpretation.
And I would just only urge everyone, don't get caught up in style points this season. Pay attention to the teams that are stacking wins. Aaron Rodgers is doing the same thing that Brady's doing with even less. He's got nobody out there. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-0. They haven't looked great. But when November and December comes around, when they start to actually look good and play well, it's going to be those teams that stacked wins. That's all that matters. Who cares about style points? It's going to be the ugliest season ever, maybe. Just teams that stack wins, and Brady's getting them.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.